The election is over, and whether your candidate won or not, we need to take a look at what this candidate who won the job is going to do. One of the biggest things that they've run on is they have said that Elon Musk is going to walk into the US government and cut $2 trillion in spending. Let's take a look at the numbers to figure out if that's even possible and what the consequences would be if they did it. So let's start with, is it even possible to take $2 trillion in spending out? It is. 2024 baseline economy here in the United States, $6.75 trillion in total government spending, up from 4.9 in 2019. The government income is just a shade under $5 trillion, so our deficit is about $1.87 trillion, all right? Deficit spending should be compared to total GDP. This 1.875% compared to this GDP number is 6.3%. That compares to in 1950 to 2008, we were doing this at about 1.5, 1.8%. So we are spending a heck of a lot more money than we're taking in. That's what Elon is going to fix. Let's take a look at what the consequences of that might be, though. Okay, if $2 trillion is about 30% of our overall government spending, and government spending makes up 23% of GDP, let's do the math. 0.3 times 0.23, you will be destroying GDP, all else equal, by 6.9%, meaning GDP, which grows at about 2.5 right now, would be negatively affected by negative 6.9%. We would definitely be negative GDP, and let's take a look at the employment numbers to prove that. Outside source, third party, gave us these numbers. If we balance the budget right now, which is about $2 trillion in reduction, 15 million people, government and government contractors, would lose their job. Compare that to the total number of people employed in the United States, and that's about 9% unemployment we would create. We're already running at about 4% unemployment. We would push unemployment to about 13%. That goes along really well with that negative 6.9 GDP piece that it would go. Those all kind of coincide with each other, right? So the short answer is, I don't think we can rip out $2 trillion all at once. It is way too destructive. Let's take a look at what we think they're actually going to do in this administration to balance the budget a little more closely. The number one cost outside of defense for the United States of America is interest on our own debt. If we reduce interest rates closer to zero, a couple good things happen. One, mortgage rates go down, so this housing money that's all locked up all gets loosened up. And two, our biggest cost that's creating deficit spending goes down substantially. Now the savers get screwed here and the banks get screwed here, but what happens is our government is going to run less of a deficit essentially, right? That's the first thing that we think that they're going to push in this agenda. Number two is we think they are going to reduce government spending wherever they can, especially money that's getting shipped overseas. That's the easiest way to do it without creating joblessness. We just don't think $2 trillion can happen at once because of how volatile that would be for the economy. Number three, he said he's going to tariff folks. He said he's going to try to get money from overseas, right? That's a very small part of our income. Maybe it becomes a slightly larger part of our income, and that shrinks the deficit a little bit. And all of those things have to be managed so that the reductions in spending, the increases in tariffs, and the reductions in rate add up to a positive GDP, because I do not think Trump and his administration want to run a recession-style change here, which all of this stuff would have to happen much more slowly than the $2 trillion getting ripped out. That's it from us. Thanks for everything. Thanks for everything you guys watch. We appreciate you. Keep hitting likes and let us know if you need anything.